Hey everybody, it's Dave Juno. How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. So this morning, going through the Facebook groups, I see, um, I see this question asked about metformin. Can metformin help with Meniere's disease? Now it's a question, but still, at first I'm going, oh great, here comes the start of a latest fad because somebody's going to answer it and say, oh yeah, I do. My vestibular has been great. And so I was like, I gotta look this up. And actually, this might be a good video for some good information. So I spent the last hour and a half reading about it, trying to see if there was anything on it. And I was literally kind of surprised a bit. Now, it doesn't help your Meniere's disease per se, like limit attacks and things like that. And I think that's what this person was getting at. Like, is it like because I think maybe they thought metformin was a diuretic, and it's not. But what it can do, and I gotta let me arrow back. This is why I've got a computer here. But metformin primarily as a type 2 diabetes medication shows potential for protecting against inner ear damage, which may benefit Meniere's disease patients by potentially reducing the incidence of sensorineural hearing loss and mitigating inflammation damage. While directly treating Meniere's is not the primary use, its antioxidants properties may support inner ear health, particularly with individuals with metabolic disorders, diabetes. Okay, because that's what I take it for. It's for diabetes, and it really did nothing for me as far as that goes. But metformin in the inner ear. Protective potential studies suggests metformin can protect against hair cell death caused by various factors with ototoxicity, which is gentamicin. If you get a gentamicin shot, that's odd. It's toxic to your ears. It's toxic to the inner ear. It will start killing those hair cells because it gets mixed up with the vestibular nerve and the acoustic nerve because you got to remember these two nerves are right on top of each other. Okay, so once that fluid goes in your middle ear and sprays, God only knows where it goes. So it's toxic, and that's how you lose hearing. I mean, actually, it's why this went so fast. Um, but like I said, metformin didn't do anything for me to protect that. If you can tell from the cochlear implant. Research suggests metformin may be used to decrease the incidence of sudden in patients with type 2 diabetes. Which meaning, I'm going to stop there from reading everything else because there's a lot, and there's been some research. They've been researching that since 2005, from what I found. But in order to figure out if this is going to help you with, you know, gentamicin shots or attacks and stuff, you really have to have diabetes because you don't want to take metformin unless you actually do have it, diabetes, because you can get pancreatitis. Your pancreas is going to start working differently. Um, you may drop a ton of weight, which you might not want to. Um, it's just not a good thing to unless you have diabetes to take. Now, I'm not saying go out and get yourself diabetes type 2 by eating a ton of sugar and a whole bunch of shit, but I'm just saying you have to have a comorbidity to maybe get some benefit for this because it's not a frontline thing. Okay, ENTs aren't going around just prescribing, um, you know, metformin or Ozempic or anything else for Meniere's disease. There's not because there's nothing there for it. It doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I know GPL can reduce some inflammation. Same thing with the metformin, but those things are generally for diabetes. not for Meniere's disease. Even though there is some benefits, which is a good thing. Um, it's kind of like the thing with and I did look this up. I know I've done some videos on it, but I did look it up with the vermectin. I mean, yeah, they're finding that it's helping with other things, not necessarily COVID, but they're finding it can help with other things. But they're in the very low, early stages of any type of testing, so you're not going to see anything about that. But um, could it work? Could it help you? Yeah, if you get diabetes. So, and that's what I mean. It's like questions like that. It was a good question. It was also a question you want to talk to ENT about, um, because somebody's going to answer it and somebody's going to say, um, "Oh yeah, I do it all the time. Works great for me." And and metformin is not a rescue drug for diabetes, so you're not going to be able to use it as a rescue drug. Okay, it's literally to help your body produce more insulin on its own, really. So, that's like I said, with the I first took metformin, I lost like 10 pounds. Then I started taking the Ozempic with the metformin, I lost like another 25 pounds. And now my weight goes like this. Spring's coming. I mean, fishing season's starting. So yeah, I'll be down about 30 pounds, 20 pounds by summer. My pants won't fit me again. They don't fit me now. They're too loose as it is. Um, but I've got diabetes. So remember that, and always ask your doctor. I mean, always ask your ENT. As a matter of fact, I would ask your ENT before asking people on Facebook on a Facebook support group, because your ENT is going to know more. Okay, because like I said before, if they're doctors in the group, they're hiding it because they don't want to take a chance probably of having a lawsuit. Um, but most of the people who are going to answer this stuff, they're not doctors, they're not medical people. It's like the woman the other day with the microdosing GLP-1. You know, I mean, I asked my primary care about it because I saw them last week because I have a strained tendon in my leg from the drop tack I had like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. Um, and I asked him, I ran it by them, and they were like, because he does know a lot about Meniere's now because of me. And he goes, I've never read that. He goes, I've read about microdosing, but not for Meniere's disease. And he goes, and I don't want you doing it. I said, I'm not going to. So, on that note, great question. Can metformin help? Yes. If you get an gentamicin shot or something like that, is it a frontline thing for Meniere's? No. And you have to be diabetic to take it. So, on that note, have a great day. Oh, happy Monday, and I'll talk to you later.